I don't think black folks realize this, but we were slaves here in America before America was America. The 13 colonies was established from 1607 to 1732, but their Independence Day isn't until 1776. We already had 150 years of slavery in by then. Black folks was built in America before white people considered themselves American. Let me break down the slavery timeline, y'all, shit. In 1619, 20-some-odd Africans was brought to what we call present-day Virginia with the sole purpose to be slaves. They called them indentured servants. This process repeated till around 1860. In the midst of slavery, 157 years in, those peasant white people who brought the Africans over here decided that they was going to fight and gain their independence from Great Britain. They gained their independence, slavery continues. Eventually, after 246 years and an internal civil war, we reached the end of plantation slavery. Then for the next 89 years, black folks got to deal with segregation in the Jim Crow era and all that shit. That ends in 1965. We've only been desegregated for 54 years. Notice throughout the systematic integration of black folks in the form of slavery and oppression, there has never been an era dedicated to the progression of black folks. White people have never supported us systematically, yet we are the sole reason for a flourishing system here in America today. Aside from all that freedom shit, America is known for its military and economy, none of which would be prevalent if it wasn't for the slaves. White people's legacy here in America is based off negotiations, rapes, and murders. The slaves put all the work in. The Africans, the black folks, the African Americans, whatever you want to call them. The white people just talk the good game as it pertains to the representation of the country. 9 times out of 10 using prideful intimidation tactics. This is as of today. African American heritage is based off of 346 years of slavery and segregation and 54 years of documented freedom and equality. Notice I said documented. And in these 54 years, we still had to deal with the crack era. Clinton's crime bill was led to mass incarceration, police brutality, and all this other shit, and still look at our position in society. I want to talk a little bit. I want to get in y'all head. I want y'all to realize or think about some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give y'all a little timeline, black people, us African Americans, just like that. I'm going to give y'all a timeline. They abolished slavery. Like, they won the war, abolished slavery, and Texas still was enslaving motherfuckers. That's what Juneteenth is. The whole rest of the country, the black motherfuckers knew that they wasn't slaves no more, and Texas said, well, I don't even give a fuck. Y'all still going to be slaves. All right, boom. Texas gets in trouble, and those motherfuckers get released. There you got Juneteenth. That was in 1865. We didn't get the 14th Amendment until 1868. They let us out of slavery and still ain't give us no fucking rights. So we were just people in this fucking land for 3 years. It wasn't like a 2 birds, 1 stone, like, okay, we abolished slavery, and because we abolished slavery, y'all just inherit the rights that we had. Like, no. It's just like, okay, y'all not slaves no more. Still fuck y'all niggas.
Himself interviewed just before he died in 1979, Falk was going on about how he believed in giving blacks the right to go to school, giving them the right to vote, giving them the right to go into anything they qualified for. And then he said he experienced an epiphany.
I was sitting out on a wagon tongue with this old black man, and was telling him what a different kind of white man I was. I remember him looking at me very sadly and kind of sweetly and condescending and said, you know, you still got the disease, honey. I know you think you're cured, but you're not cured. You can't give me the right to be a human being. I'm born with that right. Now, you can keep me from having that. If you've got all the policemen and all the jobs on your side, you can deprive me of it. But you can't give it to me, because I was born with it just like you was. My God, it had a profound effect on me. I was furious with him. But the more I reflected on it, the more profoundly it affected me. And I realized this was where it really was.
To tell you the truth, when I think of it today, I don't know how I'm living.
I remember that just as well. Look like to me, I can.
Been slaves all our lives, and mother was a slave, and sister was a slave. Father was a slave.
They know nothing about reading right. All that I know, they teach you to mind your master and your missus. Mom and them didn't know where to go. You see, after she would go, just like he turned something out, you know. Didn't know where to go.
These boys, these young men, they was your friends, your cousins, brothers and your kin. But to those soldiers who didn't know them, it's just niggers. It's just somebody else's nigger. So somehow, some way, at some time, everybody is just somebody else's nigger. Mr. Moses, are you a nigger?
No, I'm not.
What are you?
Free man, Captain.
Why's that?
Because you cannot own a child of God.
No, you cannot, can you? You can own a horse, you can own a mule, cow, or an ox. You cannot own a child